I have talked in the past about how important community is, and today I'm going to be talking about the even bigger importance of it. So let's get started. Hey everyone, Morgan here. So I'm kind of amped up right now because I just ordered 50 meat birds for summer delivery. We are going to be free ranging them and showing you our little chicken tractor thing this summer, but I'm super excited. But I was getting all amped up and excited and posting in my Instagram stories about my plan to fill our freezer for at least a year. That's my goal. This year, I want to be able to fill our freezer from this summer to the next summer. So summer 2024 to summer 2025, or even longer. That'd be fantastic. So 50 meat birds, let's say we use 2 a week. That'll get us through about 6 months or so. My math is probably off. Somebody's going to call me off, but whatever. That's about average for us, about 2 chickens. Now, we also have quail. So the only reason we have quails is because we saw at our local farm store, okay, I have to say local, and I'm going to say it a lot in this video, we saw quail eggs. And we were like, hey, do you know this supplier? Do you know that if they do incubator? And they're like, we don't know, but you're welcome to call the number. And so we did. We called her up and we said, hey, we're looking to raise our own quails. Could you incubate some for us? She was like, sure. And she charges for the chicks and incubated for them. Bam! Now we have quails. Now we can incubate our own quail eggs because we have males. And so now we can incubate our own quail eggs and we can rotate out our quails, have nice fresh quails, use the other quails for meat. I think we're going to be rotating them out every year or 2, just depends. Domestic quails don't last that long, being domesticated. So it's really good to have, to incubate them as often as you can. We also have dual purpose chickens. Now, those did come from McMurray Hatchery. However, I found a local supplier, which is just a little bit down south, that is actually breeding chickens specifically for Alaska. She's been doing this for years, and they are Alaska hardy, not just cold hardy, Alaska hardy. So I am super stoked to get to know her and be on her list for potential hers are dual breed. And dual breed means that you can eat them for chicken and eggs. And so once we get an incubator, we can incubate the quail eggs and the chicken eggs. So our birds already are dual purpose. So we can incubate the quail eggs and the chicken eggs, and we can eat the quails and the chickens. So what I'm getting at is you also need to know a local supplier of everything. So while my goal is to also fill our freezer, it's also to fill just our general home, our canned foods, our freeze foods. I really don't want to buy canned foods anymore. I want to can it. I want to freeze dry. I want to produce as much food as I possibly can. There's some things that I can't, right? Like rice and oats and things like that. That's going to be a lot harder for me to grow, For the majority of people, that's going to be harder to grow. So I'm still going to get those things in bulk and just stock up on those. But if I'm not buying canned stuff and I'm growing my own, abundance of vegetables and these kinds of things, or getting these things locally. Just recently, I was able to find some local carrots and potatoes from the store. This makes me so happy that Walmart, of all places, is selling Alaska-grown potatoes and carrots, which is perfect for winter right now. But my goal is to grow as much as I can and then try to find as many local sources as possible. I don't have my own cow, I can't grow my own dairy, those kinds of things, but I do know the local suppliers, okay? So while I don't have these things, and while you watching this probably don't have a lot of this stuff, that's okay. You need to find those local suppliers. Now, I want you to think for a moment. Think about all the stores just in the United States alone, and then think about all the produce that you see at your one little store. And then I want you to times that by how many grocery stores you think are in the United States. Here's an actual number here of how many grocery stores are in the United States. And that's how much produce is being delivered to all of these places, not just produce. Canned foods, bulk foods, processed foods, whatever. All the food that you see in your store is also being multiplied to all these other stores. So think about that for a minute. I think about this all the time. I'm like, wow, this bottle of ketchup is not just in my store, it's in the thousands of other stores. So when you think about it like that, in such a huge, grand scheme of things, what if thriving is about already knowing your local sources and knowing who to turn to in case you need to get certain things? being able to adapt and overcome and improvise, and then being able to continue to feed yourself no matter what happens. This is all part of the survival security strategy, okay? This is not just about, just knowing these people are here and like, I'll just find it later. No, get out there and actually secure your food sources, whether that's coming from you, whether that's coming from a local hatchery or a local farm or dairy or whatever the case may be. You need to start securing these things now. Okay. So I'm going to be volunteering at those community gardens as well, as those are for everybody, and sometimes they're for like soup kitchens and things like that. They are here at least, which is super amazing. There are lots behind churches and things like that. And it's been my dream to be able to like open a community garden. And I don't know, I love that idea. Go volunteer at like the food banks and things like that. Get to know your local community. I mean, this is integral. Your community, your little, probably 10-mile radius is your community. These are the people you are going to be relying on. You could expand it to maybe a 30 to 60-mile radius. I think that's extreme, right? Considering like in extreme grid down scenarios or something, if we're thinking about severe SHTF long term, you're not probably going to be expanding to 60 miles, but a 10-mile radius seems a logical conclusion to come to of the people that you might, and it's probably going to shrink down to even more like 5 miles, a few miles, your neighborhood, things like that. It's going to shrink even more. But these are going to be the people that you're going to turn to when you need things. And not just food, but you want to get to know those people that are really talented. Like they know how to fix everything, right? They know how to do everything. They can come over and help you, fix a car. They can come over, we can go over and help them fix something in their house. We can all help each other, do things that need to be done in order for a household to continue to function if you don't have these skills. This is what community is. Yes, me and my family, we are first, okay? We come first. But nobody can do it alone. You just can't. And, even with this food that I'm procuring, I've already given some to our neighbors. We've already given some to our neighbors, and our neighbors have given us stuff. We've traded back and forth. Like we've given them chicken, they've given us some fish, because they love to fish. And so, we go back and forth all the time. This is what community is about. It is that barter and trade and the give and take and everybody helping everybody. How do you get started with this? Well, I want you to go to Google or your search engine of choice, and I want you to search your city and local farms, and you will come up with stuff. I guarantee, no matter where you live. There's beef here, there's dairy here, there's everything here. Everything you could imagine here. And if you can find it in Alaska, you can find it anywhere. All right. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of this 30 Days of Survival series. Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.